Honestly, for as long as I can remember, I have not had very many successful relationships, and dating has not always been easy. But I know certain things that go right, and I know certain things that go wrong. And I know sometimes a lot of things come with a lot of comprehension and understanding and actually listening to understand. So I think we should just go ahead and just talk about it. What can I say? This is why I'm here. Anyways, what's going on, everybody? We're back with another episode of The Bakery. As we all know, I'm the host, your host, the host with the most, the best, better than the rest. And we are here for the podcast, The Bakery. Now, been gone for a couple of weeks. Been trying to figure some life stuff out. Changed my work schedule, so I'm working 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's been interesting. Been very interesting. I've been trying to figure out some topics just to talk about, and it's been fun. But here I am, and hopefully this is out by tonight on Friday, the 21st. We'll get that out in a second, or we'll get that covered in a second. But whatever. Also, happy birthday to my cousin Mike, big 40. Love you, bro. Congratulations, and I'll see you next week. But today's topic is going to be dating and understanding and intentions and things like that. What are your intentions up front? Listening to understand, like I stated before, and then just enjoying the moments. And then we're going to get into the studio sesh, talk about Chris Brown, his Grammy win. We'll get to that in a second. Super Bowl, how I felt about it. And then we'll also talk about Drake and Party Next Door album. And then we'll finish off with Movies and Friends, where I will kind of give a little bit of my opinion on the new Dragon Ball series. I think it's called, if I remember correctly, it's called Daima, or I can't pronounce it. I don't know. But we'll cover all that in the episode after we're done with the main topic. So without further ado, let's get it cracking. Let's get it popping. Let's get it going. So dating with intentions and understanding. What does that kind of look like? I mean, we all know what dating is like. You go on a couple dates, you meet a couple people, you see who's out there, you see what you like, you see who's actually willing to put forth an effort, and you figure out who you want to put an effort towards. And I think that kind of gets misconstrued a lot of times, because certain people, and this is not all people, but majority people, at least in my generation, don't quite understand how to date. And it took me a while to understand how to date, especially with how society paints the way dating should be. I had many conversations with my mom. I've had conversations with cousins. I've had conversations with the boys, ones that are dating and engaged or married. And they kind of just give me different avenues, different perspectives of what it looks like. And so ultimately, I think what dating truly is just getting to know different people to figure out who's somebody that you like. Who do you have the most attraction to? I thought for a long time going and hanging out with multiple people was just kind of wrong. I felt like that was just kind of sneaky. It's just kind of behind people's backs. The more I learned and the more I was taught, I understood, like, you're not obligated to just one person in your dating life. You're getting to know multiple people. And if you like somebody more than the other person, obviously the respectful thing is to be like, hey, I just want you to know, like, I do like you, but I like this other person more. So maybe we should just be cool and maybe we can be friends. And a lot of people will understand. A lot of people won't understand. It's just how you play the part and how you come across. Now, growing up for me, I was very much into the whole thing about, oh man, I want a girlfriend since probably middle school. Me being that young and wanting that so fast, I had no idea or an understanding of what I was doing. So it was just kind of like, oh, I want this, but it's like, do I know what it takes to have this? And on top of that, I was young, so it's like, why am I trying to grow up so fast? I need to enjoy being a young teenager, a young athlete, just going to school and everything like that. It was just a weird time, and I guess I wanted to be like everybody else. Typical middle school teenager crap. Everybody wants to be the same, but we're also figuring out who we are and figuring out our identities at the same time. So you can't always be like everybody else or what you see. You have to create your own story. You have to create your own narrative for yourself. Speaks to and truly, how can I say, truly shows and expresses your life, yourself. So the first point I want to come across and talk about is intentions up front. What does intentions even mean? Intentions, in my own definition, mean what are your motives? What are you trying to do? What is the point of all this? Doing that up front is kind of hard. We are too scared to tell the truth, and then we get scared to hurt people's feelings. It's not always your fault if you hurt somebody's feelings. A lot of people are sensitive in this life. I can be very sensitive at times, but I don't allow it to take over who I am as a person. I'll be upset and in my feelings for a couple minutes, maybe a day, but that's just how I operate. That's how I have to operate with my feelings. I'm not saying I'm going to be crying and upset, but I'll be a little frustrated about certain things. If something's not what I expect it to be or wanting it to be, then yeah, obviously I'm going to be frustrated. That's not fair. I wanted this. I know in my mind I can't have it like that all the time. So in the dating realm though, intentions up front is very important because it gives people a peace of mind. It also gives people a chance to decide if they want to even hang out with you, if they want to continue to be around you. It's a constant reassurance, in my opinion. When you meet people, I think the first thing anybody should do is be like, hey, these are my intentions. Like, if you're not specifically sold on one person, you want to get to know multiple people, then you should say, hey, my intentions are to get to know you, but I'm also getting to know other people as well. And a lot of times that weeds out those who are possibly not for you. And if obviously you're going to tell everybody that, you're going to be honest. You don't want to, you can lie and not tell the truth. 9 times out of 10, that's going to come back and bite you in the butt. You don't want that. So I feel like being upfront with people, being upfront with women, and being upfront with men, you should always allow yourself to be honest in the beginning. I feel like that shows a lot of maturity and a lot of integrity within a person, because most people will, and I've seen it, where most people be like, oh yeah, I'm talking to this girl. She's cool, but I also got this girl on the other side, and then I got this girl on the other side, and then you're just going in a circle, a triangle, a pattern. And eventually it gets to the point where you're so used to that lifestyle that you don't actually start to like anybody. You're just out here doing whatever. And that's not necessarily wrong, but I don't think people should go about life that way. What is the point in constantly having somebody down your neck, somebody yelling at you, somebody mad at you for not doing this, not doing that? And then holidays, you got to give each of these persons a gift. If you lie, I don't have time for that. Then you got people out here not saving numbers. At least put the freaking name. All you got to do is put a name. You ain't got to put no emojis. You ain't got to put no boo thing. You ain't gonna give nobody no nickname. Just put their freaking name so you know who it is. A lot of y'all just be walking around here unsaved numbers like it's cool or something. That's how people get confused and that's how people get caught up. But hey, that's just me. I digress. I don't know. I'm gonna at least put your name if I know it. I just don't get the whole being a player thing. Some people got it, some people don't. I will say that. But I don't live my life on trying to be something that I'm not. I'm a genuine person, so if I like you, obviously I like you. I'm going to show that. And then if I don't like you, I will show that. And I'll possibly even let you know if that comes across to that point. It's just a conversation that people need to have with each other. It's like, hey, I don't know if you like me, but I like you, or vice versa. I don't know if you like me, but I don't see you in that way. You'll pick it up as time goes on, as time flies by. Just don't leave people in the confusion, because that's how everyone tends to turn into this heartless, cold-hearted, just angry inside person. And it's big now. A lot of people are like that. It's not everybody's fault, but in a sense, the people that are hurt or that are like that now, maybe they shouldn't have taken it so serious, or maybe they shouldn't decide to be their own and be cold-hearted and mean. You gotta roll with the punches sometimes. That's just how it works. That's just how life is sometimes when you're dating. You're not going to always get the response or the answer that you want. So when that happens, be like, okay, obviously that person didn't like me. I can't do anything about it. Let's just move on. Let me go to the next person. Let me try to work on me at least. Let me try to do this. Let me try to do that. There's so many different options we can go about making sure that we don't turn into the stereotypical player or whatever you want to call it. That's just, I think that's bogus. So remember, always make your intentions known up front. Treat people with respect. Don't be out here acting a jerk. Be for real. Don't be something you're not. Because at the end of the day, it will come back and bite you in the butt and you're not going to like it. Point number 2, listening to understand. So that kind of goes along the lines of intentions up front. I think with your intentions up front, you're also, when you're getting involved with a person, you're attentive to what people say. When I say attentive to what people say, you're not listening to just hear something. You're listening to understand. You're listening to comprehend, truly get where people are coming from. And I've had a situation like that where I didn't listen to understand. I was just angry in the moment. And I won't give details or anything, but long story short, something was supposed to be happening. This person got upset. So naturally, I get upset. Because I feel like, although I did drop the ball in the situation, I feel like there could have been the conversation could have went a lot healthier, yet it didn't. And it turned into a big argument and a big spat. Later down the road, I had a conversation with this person and we talked it out and we understood where each other were coming from instead of how we just argued. And it lasted for a day, which I never want to argue with anybody. I want to try to have healthy conversation because when you're arguing with somebody, whether you're dating or not, there's no telling what could happen, right? You could say something or, a word might trigger you. And that's the thing with listening to understand and comprehend. Arguments over text never work. Pick up the phone. Don't do that. You're going to read a text. I send you a text. You read it. You feel like there's some sass in there, which there possibly could be, but not everything is supposed to be taken that way. And let's say you read that and you see that and you're like, who the hell is this guy talking to? Then you're angry. And that triggers your mind like, oh, I need to let this dude know, like, I'm not playing. And then you just spaz out. And then the next thing you know, I'm spazzing out. And it's like, why is it me and you against each other? Why can't we work together to be against the problem and fix the issue? And I heard that yesterday. I thought it was so interesting that this person said it. It was like, it should be me and you against the problem, not me and you against each other. And again, I'm new to the whole dating world. I'm still, I haven't really been in a relationship in years, which was probably in high school. Fun fact, I'm still single. So, hey, there's that. But I think I've been single this long for a reason. And it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of bettering myself. It's been a lot of therapy that I've had to go through that I've had to conquer some mountains. Am I open to dating? Of course. I'm more comfortable getting to know people. And I'm currently getting to know somebody right now, which is cool. I think it's been an awesome journey, just getting to learn how somebody is, getting to just see different side of somebody. So it allows me to know like, okay, I can't say this because it makes them feel this way, or I can't act this way because it makes them feel this way. I feel like for me, I've had all this instilled in me. I just needed a chance to allow it to be expressed to the right person. And a lot of times we don't express it to the right person. But once you find the correct person you're supposed to express it to, it makes it 10 times more worth it. And it makes the dating game a lot more fun. So I think with getting back on track with the listening to understand, you just can't go into a situation already knowing that you're going to be mad and just project that anger onto somebody. Because a lot of times it comes from a different place. And when it comes from a different place, obviously there's some healing that needs to be done. And it may not be some healing. It may be something much more serious or a different circumstance. You don't know. You don't know what somebody's going through. That's why I always try to take heed in talking to people, not treating them any kind of way, not talking them out the side of my neck, because you don't know what somebody's going through. Somebody could be suicidal. Somebody could be, having just a bad day. Somebody could have lost a family member, or, their pet is sick. Any little thing that triggers somebody can affect them very much. You just have to learn to not be so oblivious to the signs that are there. And you'll see the signs. Anybody who's mad, anybody who's upset, will typically not be themselves. You can always tell when somebody's not themselves. They're either quiet, they're not as jolly, they're not, like I said, they're just not themselves. When it comes to listening to understanding, the opinion I have and the advice I can give is just be willing to hear a person's heart and try to pick up on little stuff that you notice that you think you can help them with. Not only you can help them with, but you can help yourself with to better understand them in a much more passionate way. You don't want to be empathetic. Or I feel like I'm using that in the wrong context. You want to be empathetic, but you don't want to be non-empathetic to how somebody feels, because everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be seen, and a lot of people just want to be taken serious. There's so many people in this world that don't take a lot of people serious, and they just treat anybody any kind of way because of how they are, how they grew up, or what they've been through. That it's just, like I said, you don't know a person until you actually talk to them and have a conversation. And especially in dating, like, people have all types of different journeys. Some people have been single for a long time. I've been single for a long time, still single to this day. People have possibly been through a couple relationships. People have been in 5-10 year long relationships and things didn't work out. And it could be that you're just not compatible. And that's okay. It's okay to not be compatible with somebody. As long as you try to, put an effort and have an understanding and just listen to what's going on and how they're feeling and where y'all are at in that moment. I feel like that goes a long way. And I feel like it makes people feel good knowing that, okay, even though we didn't work out, we still were able to be not compatible, but be able to work together to find a solution for the both of us and not waste each other's time. Whether you break up or not, there's always a way to get around a problem that is affecting both sides of the party. Just be willing to listen, understand, comprehend, and turn it into something positive. And finally, point 3. And this is a big one. Enjoying the moment. Well, what do you mean enjoy the moment? I mean enjoy the moment. Enjoy what y'all are doing. Enjoy where y'all see yourselves going. Enjoy just the person that you're hanging out with constantly, whether it be a couple of people or one person. If you just stuck to one person, enjoy that. Because a lot of people don't get that. I know for me, I didn't get that a lot. I can tell you, I haven't had too many successful situations where I was able to enjoy just one person. I always had to keep my guard up and just be ready for anything. Does that suck? Absolutely. I think that sucks really bad because you don't know a person's intentions. You don't know how they're feeling about you. You don't know how they're feeling about themselves. For example, if you're with somebody or you're constantly hanging out with this one person and the person you're hanging out with starts to have a little bit of issue. They say they're not feeling themselves. They're feeling kind of like, sad or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Then they let you know, hey, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I can do this with you anymore. Okay, cool. That's perfectly fine. I don't want to pressure you into trying to make something work. If it's not going to work, that's cool. And that moment, it's okay to go try and talk to another person. Like I was stating earlier, compatibility. If you guys are just not compatible, you're just not compatible. It's okay to go find somebody you're more compatible with versus sitting here suffering in a space. You're trying to make that person happy. You're trying to get them to make you happy, and y'all are forcing something that isn't exactly there. And when I say force something, I mean you're constantly going to that person's house. You go to that person's house knowing that you don't like the way that they talk, so you just sit there and you take it. And it's like, why do you have to sit there and suffer if you know you don't like the way this person's verbiage is? It's like, it's simple stuff like that we don't care about. We just want to do what we want to do and be like, oh yeah, I'm happy. I mean, it's cool. Like I said, it's okay to enjoy this person for a limited time or however long, but you're not gonna consciously, you're not gonna stay in a space that's not good for you. That's anybody. I don't care who you are. Because at that point, you're going fight or flight mode and you're trying to figure out, okay, how can I get out of this? How do I tell them the truth? Blah, 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 blah. If you know in your mind that you're not comfortable, you need to say something. Do not leave people in the dark. not knowing how you're feeling. I feel like those conversations should be had a lot. And I'm not saying over communicate, that can happen, but definitely communicate enough to where y'all are on the same page. Because when you're not on the same page, that's when arguments happen. That's when people get upset. That's how people break up, divorce, whatever. Never go into a situation expecting it to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You have to live with a conscious effort of trying to be a civilized human being. Literally it. While you're enjoying the moment, just know that if you feel a certain way or something's off, let this person know. And if this person can fix it and you guys keep moving forward, great. If this person doesn't know how to fix it and you don't feel like you can keep going with that person, then there needs to be a conversation had, and y'all need to figure out what y'all are gonna do. Like I said, it's like I'm a size 14 and I keep trying to put my foot in a size 12. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. 14 and 12 are two different numbers, two different sizes, two different lengths. Why am I gonna put my foot in a size 12 shoe so my toes can look like this? No. That's how relationships will look. They end up looking like this, and they're not this. How they're supposed to be. You want to have this. You don't want to have this. I know that looks crazy, but I'm trying to give you the best example I can give. So just from my personal opinion, my personal experiences, just enjoy what's happening right now, because you may not know when you're going to get this again. Live life with, I don't even know how to really explain it. Just enjoy what's happening. We don't have a lot of time on this earth. I think we constantly live life like, oh, I need to have this job. I need to be married. I need to have kids. No, enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy the moments that are given to you. Enjoy what God has presented to you, and just try to make the most of it. A lot of times we don't give ourselves a chance to, because we're so worried about what the next person's going to think or who's talking about us or this or that. None of that matters. And especially in dating, if you like somebody and they're not the prettiest woman in the world, they're not the cutest guy in the world, if you like them, who cares? Nobody else's opinion matters. Not even mine. I'm just giving you advice. For those that are single like me, we got time, man. We don't have time, but we have time. We're going to find the right person for us. They're out there. And like my pastor said when I watched church last week, this is the person, this is the man or woman you're waiting on. He's getting them ready. He's working on them. He's figuring it out. Same thing over here. This is us, the people that are getting worked on. We're getting ready. And eventually we're going to bump into each other and we're going to mesh. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. You got to be patient. You got to be patient. I talked about it last week. Patience is a virtue. And it goes a long way. So yeah, man, intentions up front, listening to understand, and enjoying the moments that are given to you and that other person and what y'all are doing, because you never know what could happen. So just be grateful. But now that we got all that mushy stuff out of the way, let's get into a little bit of a studio sesh. That sounds better than freaky. I don't, whatever. Anywho, let's talk about Chris Brown for a second. Yes, I know. I'm going to hear it. Oh, you talk about Chris Brown. First of all, I want to talk about that too. I need people to understand that I am not obsessed with this artist. This just happens to be somebody that's my favorite, that I truly enjoy listening to, that I truly respect their craft and their artwork. I'm starting to think that a lot of people think that I'm just some crazy dude that thinks I'm going to be best friends with Chris Brown. Obviously not. The man doesn't know who I am. The man's never seen me a day in his life, and he probably never will. But it's like every time I say something, every time I post about it, every time I do this, every time I do that, even when I don't say anything, it gets brought up, and it's annoying. Because then I have to explain myself again. That's just what I like. I'm so serious. And I'm not doing it no more. I shouldn't even be addressing this crap right now either. But I'm not obsessed. I enjoy his music and I enjoy his art. That's just it. I really don't care. I don't give a if people are gonna keep saying it and da-da-da-da. If that's what you want to say, then go ahead. I don't care. Leave me alone. I like what I like. I like other artists too. He just happens to be at the top. Stop telling me that. Leave me alone. Because I swear the next time somebody says something to me, I'm going to snap and you're not going to like what's going to come out of my mouth. Because it's going to hurt your feelings and I might not even speak to you again. So again, for the last time, I'm not going to say it again. Leave me alone about it. I truly don't care. I'm going to support him no matter what. That's just the end of it. That goes for everybody. Friends, non-friends, people that follow me. I don't care. Leave me alone about it. I'm telling you now because I'm gonna snap and you're not gonna like. Besides all that, my boy got his Grammy, second Grammy. I'm super happy for him. I think the song that they picked, it was Residuals, and I think that was one of the songs that on the album that I truly enjoyed. It kind of brought that R&B back. It made me think about like all his past albums that he's done. So I think this album was definitely better than the last. He did a truly great job on it. Very diverse, very different, very creative, very well put together. So super happy for him. Glad he got it. Now that we're talking about that, the Super Bowl, I mean, I don't even know. It is February 21st. That happened January 9th, I believe, on a Sunday. Watching it from my perspective, you know, I'm a big fan of music. I'm a big fan of people doing well in that craft. And I like Kendrick, and I also like Drake. Do I think this beef is stupid? Absolutely. I think the beef is well overplayed. I think a lot of people are turning it into something more than what it needs to. And I'm sure they're both, they don't care about what people think, who's better than who. Obviously, there were some low blows made, and that's just how rap beef goes. You're going to say some stuff about the next person to get an upper hand. They both did that. It happened. From me, though, I don't think Kendrick really cares. I think Kendrick was, I saw it in an interview, I think he stated that people were putting rap on the back burner. And it's like, if not rap, hip hop, I can't remember, like I said. But that category that they're both in, I think he was saying that people were putting it on a back burner and not truly understanding the form and the art that it has. I mean, every genre has a different way of affecting people, and I feel like rap is definitely on that list. It's definitely on number 2 on my list. Rap and hip hop are definitely number 2 on my list. Again, I don't know if they go together. I don't know the difference, and maybe I need to study up on it and figure it out. That's cool. I'll do that. That's nothing to me. But I think Kendrick is just, at this point, he's going to do what he's going to do. Kendrick is Kendrick. He's quiet, stays with himself, does what he got to do, gets into rap beef if he has to, keeps it pushing, whatever. Drake, however, I think he was a little hurt by how many people decided to switch up on him. If they did, I don't know the story. Nobody knows the story. Everybody thinks they know everything about this rap beef and what Drake did and if Drake's a bad person. Nobody's a bad person until proven guilty. There's just no other way of looking at it. I don't know what Drake did, so I'm not going to sit here and pick sides. I like Drake. I like Kendrick. I like Cole. 3 of my favorite top artists right now. Don't care. There's just no reason why the beef should be going on this long. Drake is out doing his thing in Australia and across wherever he's going. So it's not like there's nothing he can do. He's doing him. He's making money. He's, getting his accolades. That's just what it is. I wouldn't care either. I'm selling out shows still. Please. I'm not worried about that rap beef. So, yeah, Super Bowl, halftime show. It's all right. It's cool. Kendrick did his thing, of course, like he was always going to do. He was definitely putting a message out there that I think a lot of people weren't paying attention to. Do I know the message? Not necessarily. Was I paying attention to it? Trying to. Obviously, there's some stuff that I need to go back and look at. That's a given. The game, however, I'm glad Kansas City lost. Did I want the Eagles to win? Hell no. I can't stand the Eagles. One of my best friends is an Eagles fan, and it's sad. But, well, ain't nothing I can do about it. That's still my dog. EJ, I'm talking about you. Just know that. Yeah, man, Super Bowl was all right. Could have been better. Could have been more competitive. Chiefs they waited till the last second to start scoring the football. Come on, dude. Give us something to watch. Y'all made it happen a couple years ago. Now y'all not. What's going on, bruh? But that's neither here nor there. Whatever. But speaking of Drake, the album him and Party Next Door just dropped, Something Sexy For You. I gave that a 9 out of 10. There are no perfect 10s, but as far as listening to the album, I did not skip a song. I liked the whole album. There are definitely some songs I liked more than others, but it was definitely something refreshing, something new. I always knew that Drake and Party Next Door always make great music together. And he's a good artist as well, Party Next Door. I don't know. It was a great album. I think a lot of people should listen to it, which a lot of people did. There's a song on there called Nokia. That song is a banger. I don't care what nobody say. This is just a fire song. It's a great song. So that album, 9 out of 10. Definitely recommend. Listen to it. Go crazy. It's lit. And finally, we are now at the last segment of the evening, or the afternoon, I'm sorry. Movies and friends. Haven't watched very many movies lately. Been watching a lot of shows, but one specific show I started was the Dragon Ball Daima. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's on Netflix and Hulu. Go watch it. They're not sponsoring me. I'm just saying where they're at. But so far, so good. I like that they're telling a story from a different angle, making Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo and everybody small. It's super cool to me. I don't know. They just look cooler like that. Yeah, originally, obviously, they're taller. They're grown men. But just seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm only on episode 6, which is sad. I'm trying to catch up. There's from what I saw, I think there's 23, 24 episodes, 28. I couldn't even tell you. But I was watching last night, and it was really getting interesting. Of course, I was doing some other things along the lines of watching that, but I was trying to multitask. It was a lot. But I think they're doing a good job with that show. Obviously, I haven't gotten to the end or gotten to a caught up area just yet, so I can't say if they should do another season of it yet, but I will say so far so good. I don't really have any other opinions about it. I think the art style is good. The storytelling is really good. Just the different characters and how I don't know. From what I'm seeing, obviously Goku is trying to learn how to fly, how to get his strength up, how to do everything he was doing when he was growing up from before. It's to me, that's basically what I'm looking at. It's basically just him growing up again and learning what he had already learned before. Same thing with Goku, same thing with Piccolo, same thing with all those other guys that are in the show, in the story. So far so good. I'm gonna keep watching, keep you guys updated. Obviously, I'll let you know when I finish it, if I ever finish it. There's too many shows that I'm watching right now, so I'm trying to keep up with a lot. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Super good show. It's going really well. But that's all I have for you guys today. I really truly appreciate y'all working with me and being here as always. Like I always say, I'm super appreciative for all the support that I get constantly from you guys. Even if it's just one comment or a couple likes, I truly don't care. I just enjoy doing this for me. It helps me. It makes me happy. And I know that I'm going to make this big one day. I do want to try to have a couple guests, maybe one day if I can. We'll see. But I'm not truly in a hurry to do that just because I'm also working and, doing things with life. So it's a work in progress. I know for sure we'll get there one day to where we have a guest. In due time, though. In due time. I'm not sure if I want to do it in person or, virtually. Obviously, we'll figure that all out when the time comes. And I mean, if y'all have any suggestions on, how that can help or what you can do to help me, any other podcasters out there, whatever, let me know for sure. I'm open to anything and everything, open to any type of help. If there are any topics out there that y'all want me to discuss, let me know. This is what this is about. It's about us together. This is our podcast. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I love you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. Continue to be legendary, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.